Thank you all for coming this morning. Can you all hear me? We're good on audio? I'm Bart Graves. I'm a spokesman for the Arizona Department of Public Safety. We are here at the precipice of another long holiday weekend where, due to low gas prices, a lot more of our citizens will be taking to the roadways, the highways, this long holiday weekend. And that, of course, means it's going to be busy for us, and we'd like to talk about that. We cannot do what we do every day as an agency, DPS, without our partners at ADOT and the Governor's Office of Highway Safety. To talk about all things having to do with safety this holiday weekend is the Director of the Arizona Department of Public Safety, Colonel Frank Milstead.
Thank you for coming out this morning before this long holiday weekend. It's a little mesmerizing for me as the Director of the Arizona Department of Public Safety to stand before you that I realize that Alberto and I have done these for the last 25 or 30 years. Each holiday weekend, we know that 300 or 400 Arizonans will be arrested for driving while impaired, yet every year we arrest 300 or 400 more. We also know that this weekend, a number of Arizonans will be killed on Arizona highways. They'll fail to buckle their seatbelts, they'll drive impaired, they'll be a victim of aggressive driving. We as Arizonans have to put an end to this, and we have to no longer have tolerance. I need you to be your friend's designated driver. I need you to not let your friends and family decide to drive impaired. We cannot do it as law enforcement because we do it every year. We go out and we provide a robust enforcement campaign with our state, local, and county partners and try to keep roads safe. But every holiday weekend, the same results happen. I need the leadership of Arizona to get ahead of this and not just leave it upon our friends at ADOT to make highways safer, the Governor's Office of Highway Safety to educate, or my department and my state troopers out there enforcing the roadway laws. We've identified some safety corridors this weekend. You're going to find a robust enforcement campaign along I-10 and Picacho Peak, along I-17, and out on Highway 87. You're going to see new signage. You're going to see temporary and changing signs to try to keep you all educated, informed of changing roadway conditions. But what we can't have is the continual impaired driver out on the roadway. The other thing that's going to happen this weekend, again, is known. There's going to be fireworks along the roadways in the evening hours, both Friday and Saturday nights. It is against the law to stop on a highway, even if you're on the shoulder, to watch fireworks. It's a recipe for disaster. People also will be distracted just as you were, which made you pull over, and someone will run into the back of your vehicle, and there'll be some sort of horrific collision because one of you is stopped and one of you is not paying attention. We will have, again, a very robust enforcement campaign along those areas of the highways where we know fireworks are going to be prevalent. If you see fireworks and you're interested, just pull off of the roadway, find a parking lot, and enjoy the moment. It's a great time to celebrate the freedom of America and those who have given their lives to keep us safe and allow us to live free. But don't get involved in a collision and make this beautiful celebration end tragically. Thank you.
Thank you, Colonel. Speaking on behalf of the Arizona Department of Transportation is the State Engineer, Dallas Hemmett.
Thank you. And the key recommendation from ADOT today is to expect the unexpected. As mentioned, my name's Dallas Hammett. I'm the Deputy Director and State Engineer for Arizona Department of Transportation. And as the three agencies, as we've talked together, our major emphasis for this weekend is safety. ADOT, as the Colonel mentioned, working with DPS, have identified some safety corridors. And one of the things ADOT can do is, what can we be out there, how can we be out there faster and respond to when those incidents occur? So we're going to stage men and equipment in key locations so we can respond much quicker when those incidents occur. As you know, on these holiday weekends, traffic increases dramatically. For instance, I-17, a daily traffic on I-17 is 28,000 vehicles a day. That's both directions, north and south. But on a holiday weekend, we see 30,000 vehicles in one direction. What does that mean when there's an accident? If there's an accident on I-17 and we close lanes, for every minute the roadway's closed, we back up 2 miles. So what can you do as you're traveling that road? Be prepared. Bring extra water. Have some snacks in your car. Make sure your cell phone's charged, and be patient. Because as we go through, we're going to be out there to open that roadway as soon as possible. You can be out there and make sure you have all that you need to be safe. So plan ahead, expect the unexpected, buckle your seatbelts, and don't drive impaired. Thank you.
Alberto Gutierrez is no stranger to all of us. He's the director of the Governor's Office of Highway Safety and a key partner in this effort.
You know, I think both Colonel Molstad and Dallas said it all in regards to what is real important for this weekend and every other weekend. Two things that comes to mind is last year we had a few less fatalities than the year before, but at the same time, we know what the consequences are. There's three main causations of people for crashes that leads to fatalities. Number one is speeding, aggressive driving. Number two, being impaired driving. Number three, someone that's, like Dallas mentioned, people don't, buckle up, put a seatbelt on, it's right there for a reason. Don't put the children in child safety seats. And at the same time, also the issue of distracted driving. Pay attention. You're going to travel. Driving is a privilege, and people need to understand that. And in the side of impaired driving, let me tell you honestly, there's over 80 agencies working this weekend. We have 13 DUI task forces out there. I put a news release out where we are all over the state, and the next 3 days is going to be very busy for everybody and law enforcement. But more than anything else, protecting the public and protecting others in their communities. Those tragedies can happen. And one simple word that I've been using, actually 3 words, is called designated driver. Go and have a blast. Drink all you want, just don't get behind the wheel of the car. And if you're going to get behind the wheel of the car, call a taxi, call a friend, sleep it off, I don't care, okay? But don't make this stupid mistake, and I call it stupid mistakes, to get behind the wheel when you're impaired. You get arrested, the consequences are tremendous, and that's why we have this partnership between ADOT, DPS, and us, because we've been working together for a long, long time, keeping people safe. Other than that, enjoy the holiday. It's big for a lot of people, so especially someone like me, who's an immigrant. Thank you.
I want to talk about the vehicles.
Can I do that?
Yeah.
One more thing I want to talk about. You guys saw the vehicles out front. Those aren't possible without our partnership with the Governor's Office of Highway Safety. The vehicles were purchased through a grant process of federal safety dollars. And you see a myriad of colors out there. And if you decide to drink and drive this weekend, I can't tell you what color will be in your rearview mirror, but one of those colors will be in your rearview mirror. So just pick and choose, pick wisely. But we'll now open it up for some questions. Anyone?
There's agencies like AAA that offer towing services for people who are impaired, and yet we still don't see people really taking advantage of that.
You know, it's interesting you say that, and I think it's a great point. I believe AAA does actually provide some tow service to get you and your car home safely if you are impaired. And people will forego the embarrassment of calling a tow truck or calling someone to come get them because they're impaired, but they won't forego the embarrassment of drinking and driving and being arrested. So it's a great point, and I think you have to use, there's a myriad of services that are out there and available to those who have drank too much and need to get home. So great point.
We've seen a lot of increase of wrong-way drivers and partnerships I've seen it a couple times coming into work early in the morning where wrong-way driver on I-10 or wrong-way driver on I-17. So that partnership is actually helping at all? Or?
I think it is helping, and the question was about wrong-way drivers. How is that helping, and what are we doing as a group with the 3 E's, the education, enforcement, and engineering piece of highway safety? You've noticed that ADOT continues to try to provide new engineering solutions. But again, this goes back to the same thing that we opened up about, is 80% of all of those wrong-way drivers, they're impaired. They're impaired by some substance, whether it's alcohol, it's prescription drugs, or an illicit drug. If we can get those people off the road, if you guys can help me with that, we save a ton of lives and millions of dollars each year. We cannot enforce or engineer our way out of impaired drivers. It just doesn't work. There's no way to keep them from doing the things that they do, at least at this point. We don't have that technology.
What are your, what kind of drivers or your officers are going to be out there looking for? I mean, aggressive, people just impatient?
I will tell you, it's really kind of the same thing. You'll find aggressive driving, you'll find speed, failure to drive in a single lane, following too closely. All of those things are indicators. And it's a zero tolerance weekend. If you're involved in those types of driving behaviors, you're probably going to meet a state trooper or a county sheriff or a municipal police officer who is going to either at least write you a ticket, and if you're impaired, it's going to be a long weekend. Again, thank you for what you do. We have to do this as a partnership. Our relationship here at the Department of Public Safety could not be any better right now with our media outlets. So personally for me, thank you for what you do, and thanks for trying to help us make a difference. It's really a true partnership.
Anything sober drivers, so if I've been going out and I'm a DD or I'm doing my part to be safe, anything I can do to keep myself safe on the road from someone? I mean,
Well,
what's the advice there?
again, the sober the sober designated driver message has been on. You know, we had get a DD, not a DUI, but you know, we have a unique program in Arizona now called Know Your Limit, and little postcards that tells you on one side what the penalties are, the other one what the contents of alcohol, different drinks are. And you know, a person knows when they're impaired, and at the same time, they don't use the right judgment. That's why the designated driver program, call Uber, call Lynx, call even Total Transit has taxis. They're now using the same system. So why not? You know, and be safe because of the consequences. And designated drivers work. And I see it. I have my children friends and my grandchildren friends who say, I'm not drinking. I know you guys are out there someplace. Well, that's a good message. We still, at least we're dropping the number of fatalities 3 years in a row, from 32,000 to 31,000 in 2013, down last year to 29,000 to 50. I mean, that's a lot of people being arrested year-round by law enforcement. But we got to dedicate what we do also to the highway patrolmen, okay? Those guys back there, there's 2 of them right there, okay? They gave their lives for someone not doing the right thing. One distracted driving, the other one by impaired driving via drugs. So that's the people we have to honor and enforce the laws based on them.
There's a program Scottsdale PD was doing for a while. I'm not sure if they're still doing it, but going into bars and offering breath analyzers, and people are treating it like a game, but then they realize, hey, I'm drinking. Now, are any other agencies across the state doing that?
There's about 17 or 18 that are now doing it. That's a Know Your Limit program that was started by Chief Rod Bell in Scottsdale and a few of the officers. And it's 12, 15 officers in uniform, different corners within the bar Zine right there in Scottsdale. And at the beginning, people didn't want to come for people to get a reading. Now, hundreds of people on Thursday night, and you know it was a drinking day Thursday, but Thursday night, Friday nights, Saturday, they come to the officers, can I get a PVT? Well, the beauty about the program is that in a particular Thursday or Friday for the last 2 or 3 years, they may give 500, 600 PVTs on a weekend. No one got arrested because they were told to get a taxi, call a friend, do not get behind the wheel of the car. That program, Scottsdale, is now been expanded from ASU to UAA to a bunch of other jurisdictions. Yavapai County has their own card. We've been using it statewide, and every agency that comes to us wants those little postcards printed, we'll print it. So it's a great program. I'm glad you asked for that.
for closing. Oh, you got one more?
I was gonna ask, can you,
Oh, no, you've already asked your question, I'm sorry.
I got one question.
No, hang on, go ahead.
I was gonna say, can you tell us about the cars out there? I mean, in terms of what's with, you know, they've got a different paint job and whatnot. I mean, is there anything that's specifically new about those vehicles?
There is something new about them. We are in the middle of a test program, not only for looking at some different colors for cars, as I try to rebrand this organization and make people more aware of what the Department of Public Safety is and stands for and what our state troopers do each day. But the other thing that's new on them is they all have in-car cameras. They have a camera that has a view out the front. It has a camera that records what goes on inside of the passenger compartment of the vehicle. And then we can take that thumb drive and download it and later use it for court for the impaired driver. So I believe all of the vehicles out there do have the new cameras. It is a test program, a beta program that the department is trying to get a handle on what's the best way to record what goes on in the officer's daily routine. And the other thing you'll notice is there was a lot of new colors out there, and we're looking at colors and we're looking at the ghost graphics that exist on the side of the vehicles. Not only do they look cool, but we hope that it will get people's attention and bring up awareness.
That kind of answered my question, but I wanted to know, where did you get the concept for these cars? Is it somewhere else in the United States that has this type of program?
I am not the guy who picked. Is one of the guys that has the cars know the answer to that? Could come up here and answer that? How did we come up with ghost graphics and colors?
Well, let me start with this. A number of jurisdictions, you go to Florence, you go to Peoria, you go to a bunch of places, they're using those stealth markings for the last couple of years. And that's the way it is. And we used to have in DPS both Camaros and Mustangs in different colors. We haven't had them for a while, but you know what? And people wonder, and those are the kind of things that this thing advocates. It's just making sure that people understand the dangers and consequences of driving impaired or anything else they do which is not traffic safety. And that's what it's all about. But we also have to dedicate it to our officers who do a tremendous job. Here in DPS and every agency in the state, deputy sheriffs out there risking themselves at the lakes and rivers and making sure that people come back from their trip to Lake Pleasant or Sorrel Lake and like that everywhere else in Arizona, from Sierra Vista to Flagstaff and from Yuma all the way to White Mountains. People are paying attention to those kind of cars. And those cars are now all over the place for the last 2 or 3 years. They started that stealth marking. But trust me, when the lights shine on that, you see where they are, okay? Thank you.
And speaking of the cars, we set up a wonderful photo op for all of you with our officers who brought their Smokies, so they're able to stand next to their cars and take as much video and photos as you need. Any other questions? Otherwise, we'll be around.
Take the opportunity to talk to the troopers. They'd love to talk to you about what they do and show you through the cars. It's a great opportunity, although it is a little warm. So,
Thank you all for coming.
We'll make it quick.
All right, guys, this is a wrap on that Department of Public Safety news conference. We're going to wrap this stream up, and we'll see you guys again in about 42 minutes. We'll be back with Fox 10 News Now at 10 a.m. See you guys soon.